cookies just isn't happening today.
We're just gonna go down in the deep dark recesses of the bottom, and we got that one.
Ooh, this one
Ooh, I
is
get it. Ooh, get
Bare
in the
Minerals
picture.
Pretty Amazing.
You're
Do
cutting.
I have to be in the picture?
Well, yes. People complain when you're cut off.
Really? What the hell's wrong with you guys? I'm just kidding. And we are going to go on Facebook, and I will type that up in a minute because I forgot to save it. Shocker.
Again. Oh boy, some of the we're gonna have to make tapes of the behind-the-scenes stuff.
It doesn't make me look good.
Oh yes.
We're good.
If you can't laugh at yourself.
Okay, y'all. See how I did that?
Well, that's nothing new. There's that funky slide guitar music that comes on every Monday through Friday on iNewsWire, on Twitch, Facebook, and
on YouTube. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and share us all over your world. And check out our Instagram page too. We got some great content on there.
Of that going on back and forth all the day. Hot news, everything's going on all across the board on that. We're going to start off, and why does it do that every time that you're going across that? You hit the button, and there it goes on the enchilada. No, we're going to start off, we're going to roll right into the show because Congressman Tom McClintock, he was assembly member, a longtime state senators, and the reason why he opposed term limits, because if it wasn't for term limits in California, he would still be in our legislature where he could do more good than, but he's been in the Congress now for about 10 years. And he stepped up to the plate, and I'm going to tell you this. I agree with Tom McClintock. I agree with Gavin Newsom.
What?
Yes.
No.
Gavin Newsom.
Wait.
Of do that.
Why? Did he say unicorns are real or something?
Yes, because we talked about this, and we'll show you the post of the graphic that's in there that blew like skyrocket on IE Newswire when I posted it last night on that. That did. We all, it's been 2 days out. Gavin Newsom was partying hard with the $350, $400 a plate French Laundry with all his friends, breaking every COVID rule in the book. On top of that, we got he's going to lock us down with a curfew here that's coming up.
He's going to try.
But I said that, and I agree. Okay, let's do as Gavin Newsom does. He didn't have no problem with showing up with his friends, partying, how many people at the $400 a plate dinner. He didn't walk out or do anything or call the cops and have these people arrested or say, hey, you should break this party up. You're violating all the COVID restrictions. No, he was in there. So why can Gavin Newsom break all the rules? And now not only that, he's going to lock us down harder. Here's Tom McClintock on the floor of the United States Congress in the House. Here we go.
I rise this morning in defense of Governor Gavin Newsom, who recently defied his own idiotic COVID edicts as he partied at one of the few restaurants that's not yet been forced out of business. I defend him because he was doing what we once all did in a free society, make our own decisions over what risks we're willing to run and what precautions we're willing to take according to our own circumstances to protect our own health. Yes, COVID is a nasty bug, and 250,000 Americans have died while having it. But this isn't the bubonic plague. The CDC's best estimate is that if you're under 49, your chance for surviving COVID, if you get it, is 99.92%.
Here we go. We made these decisions prior to March of 2020. As Tom McClintock pointed out, if you're under 49, your chances, if you get it, and mind you, there's only like a 9% positivity rate of amongst, or 6% or whatever it is, or if it's going up, who cares? It's a very small number of a very small number of a very small number that you could actually die of this. A 0.992 survival rate if you get it, which means of your chances odds of getting it, The 999.999 goes on almost to infinity. Knock it off, Gavin Newsom. It's ridiculous. We are not freaking 3-year-olds. We can make these decisions, just like you made the decision to walk in the French Laundry, the $400 or $350 a plate.
Who the hell spends that much money on
That's
food?
inconceivable.
On food.
I wouldn't care if I
I'm
had...
still stuck on that part.
I wouldn't care if I had Warren Buffett's money. I would not spend $400 a plate.
That is stupid. I
on
mean,
anything.
hands down, I can guarantee you.
Yes.
Those Jack in the Box tacos were probably equally as delicious.
Probably. I
And
wouldn't.
French fries at
I mean,
McDonald's,
if you
forget
got
about
that
it.
kind of money, why don't you donate that? I would donate that money to charity. Whatever there was 10 or 20 or 30. What was the bill on that? 20 or 30 grand? 50 grand?
Was it seriously $350 a plate?
Yes.
A plate.
That's what it costs.
A plate.
Yes, when you walk in there, it's $350.
Why?
If you and me,
Why?
if you and me wanted to go to the French Laundry, that's $700 frickin' dollars.
Why?
Walking in the door.
But why? Is it like? Is there gold flakes or something?
Yeah,
Am I going to be pooping rainbows for
No,
like a week?
it's called cash register justice.
This is
They don't want
ridiculous.
people like you and me in there.
Ah,
So
that makes sense.
so they
Let's go.
they price
Dinner's
you.
on you.
They price you. I wouldn't pay you. No, that's how they do it, and that's what they're doing.
That's
Everything like this.
crazy.
They're going to price you out of your home, your car, everything else. So you have no choice but to take the bus or live in a 200 square foot cubicle with 16 kids or whatever. That's what they're going to tell you can't. It's like the COVID vaccine. They're not going to tell you can't. You don't have to have the vaccine. But as the ticket master, if you want to go to the concert, if you want to go to the store, if you want to go outside, everything else, you're going to have the vaccine, or you're going to have a COVID test every day to go out. That they're not mandating it because they constitutionally cannot mandate it, but they can cash register you out or say you can't do this, that, or any other thing. That's what it's all about. Tom McClintock, as he so eloquently said, is exactly right. Let's do just as Gavin Newsom does when he's coming up with this idiotic curfew that he's got coming on the deal. Here's the tweet. Roll me up number 4, please. This is on ABC 7, but this is a Gavin Newsom tweet. I didn't have time to get it. Due to the rise in COVID-19 cases, from Gavin Newsom's Twitter, CA is issuing a limited number of stay-at-home orders. The non-essential work and gatherings must stop from 10 p.m. to 5 a.m. in counties in the purple tier, which is dang near all of California. 95% of the population right now is in the purple tier. This will take effect 10 p.m. on Saturday and remain for 1 month. Did I tell you Christmas was getting canceled?
Did you?
There you go. This is going to remain for 1 month
what?
as of now.
No.
Yes.
No.
Yes.
No.
So what, does COVID all of a sudden disappear at 10 p.m.
For 1
to
month?
5 p.m.? Yes. 1 month.
Really quick, our caller called in and wanted to mention a McDonald's hamburger and a $350 plate goes down the toilet the same way. How badly do you want to flush $350
Yes.
down that toilet?
Yeah, those are some of the most expensive turds you're going to flush down the toilet, I'll tell you that.
Well, this conversation just got real.
Yes, it does. Hey,
But back to the curfew.
am I real? There's probably no plainer talker than you're going to
real
listen
pain in
to
my-
on the deal.
Okay. Anyways, back to the curfew. So it takes effect this Saturday from 10 p.m. to what? 5 a.m.?
Yes. COVID doesn't come out.
But-
Doesn't come out. I guess during the day COVID's just
magic.
laying in the corner of that at 10 p.m.
But you know
COVID's going
what?
to
See,
come out.
there's these
The big-
riots.
the
There's
big
these riots.
COVID
going,
monster
Joe,
is
you're
going to
scaring
come
me.
out and attack you.
But there's all these riots.
So you better be tucked in
I
bed.
can't freaking talk!
In your hermetically sealed covers over. You can't see nothing of that because COVID is complete. But you better have that alarm set for 5 o'clock because COVID, as soon as the light comes out, COVID is gone.
Okay,
Go ahead.
creepy. Anyways, I totally almost forgot my point. But there's riots on the street. People are protesting, burning crap down, hurting your police officers that are fighting for our state and our country and all that. But you're doing a curfew over COVID?
Yes.
Why? How does that make any
It's
sense?
all about, I keep telling you, it's all about control.
That's just dumb. You should have been controlling the riots.
You don't
If
believe
I was a business owner and my stuff got trashed during those riots, I'd be freaking pissed.
you don't believe me when
Half the time, no, I
and
don't.
the reason
Just kidding.
I
No,
bring
always
it
believe
out about all the public employees that are going across the board and supporting this and giving you the false narrative. And again, I say this because I want you to trust a police officer or a firefighter if they come up to you. But when they continue to lie, as Susan Shelley said, this is not Roy, the most deceptive political campaign in California history, in her opinion, was the 19 Yes on 19, which was put up by California realtors, and at the end of the commercials, it was supported by cops and firefighters. And we went through the rendition, and I even gave them a year to figure this out, and we made a truce of saying, okay, if you didn't know, you know now, and you're continuing to do it. Just like this. This empowers Gavin Newsom and Joe Biden and everybody else to do what they're doing to you.
Carla writes in, there was a new surge of COVID from people having parties. That still doesn't make sense why you put a curfew at 10 p.m. Maybe like, if you're worried about that, that should be like 8 p.m. or like nobody does.
You know what?
But they're already doing that because they said you can't do anything with people anyways.
Carla, back to go listen to Tom McClintock.
I love you anyways, Carla.
If you want to take the risk. If you get COVID of that, and if you are under 49, once you get it, which is like, let's just even go 10%, which is probably way high. 10% of the population under 49 gets it. They have a 99.992% survival rate, and that's probably that. So you take that out. The nines going past the decimal point are almost incalculable in the amount of odds of you have dying for that if you're under 49.
But regardless, he's already said that you can't have Thanksgiving. Christmas has been canceled. You're not allowed to have parties anyways, except for you and your dog and your cricket.
Well, I don't know about the cricket.
I like Jiminy, all right?
There you go. I want to put this up, put this post up as we're talking about this on number 4. Just give them a shot of this. I put this up after the show last night. Of that. I got the picture from the Libertarian Party of that, and I put it up, and look at how this post blew. 745 shares as of an hour ago. Look at the people reached engagements. When you tell the people to stay home, but you get caught at a birthday party. Carla, this is, and all of y'all that support Newsome and Slo Jo and the whole thing, this is what you're getting. You want to be conned? Then that's your right. I'm not going to be conned. I'm not going to be conned. I don't think Stephanie's going to be conned. I don't think a lot of us are going to be conned, and I hope a majority of us are not going to be conned on this deal of that, because it is really flat serious. And sometimes, as in maybe yesterday, I put the point across very forcefully, but it needs to be done. But like I said, and I said, go check out my 2 minutes at the county of Riverside talking about the COVID, and we got a story coming about that about San Bernardino County, which I guess we'll roll into here in a second. Of that, have the graphic ready for that, and here we go. Let's roll number 4. County looks at suing Newsome over COVID-19 restrictions.
Hey,
number 4, please.
stop.
Of that, so I can see it on my in my enchilada. Why is it not coming up on my screen? There, coming up on the. As
It
we
doesn't
go
like you.
totally black. What did you do?
I did nothing.
Oh, there we go. County looks at suing Newsome over COVID-19 restrictions. San Bernardino, the county elected supervisors on Tuesday agreed to explore suing Governor Gavin Newsom over his restrictions aimed at slowing the spread of COVID-19. San Bernardino County has been in multiple tiers. Been in the purple tier, which all 41 of the 58 California counties, which is 95% of the population, is in that. Now we're under curfew of that. San Bernardino is finally on the deal of that, of saying, okay, let's get it done. Let's start looking at it. I've been asking for 2 months. the the Riverside County Board of Supervisors. I think Jeff Hewitt's on board. He only needs 2 more votes. Let's do it. And they're ordering their CEO, their county council, put together the lawsuit. We're suing Newsome. We're not going to be locked down in San Bernardino County anymore. Let's get it done.
Christopher writes in on Facebook, why do I feel like California county leaders are scared to sue Newsome?
Well, there you go. The San Bernardino stepping up to the plate, exploring it. It takes time to write the lawsuit or stuff, but they're telling the staff, get it done. Riverside County, Orange County, San Diego County, Kern County, every other county. I know you're not going to get L.A. County, I doubt, or Alameda County or San Francisco County. Sutter County, Yuba County, all those up there. Let's get the lawsuits up. Start suing them. You have the decision from Gallagher and Kiley. You have court precedents to work that. I know there's a stay on the order, but it should be. You've got a ruling on there that you can go for it. Let's get it done. On the enchilada of there, because time's a waste. We can't. I mean, if you want to get Christmas uncanceled and you want to stop the curfews and the madness, it's what's gonna.
Michael writes in on YouTube, let's get it done.
Yes, Michael, that's what I'm talking about. And again, I'm asking, cops, firefighters, are you going to join with us? Sheriff McMahon in San Bernardino, Sheriff Chad Bianco. Deputize all of us. We will stand at the border with you.
I think that's a little scary to deputize. What if you deputize like a criminal or something? You know what I mean?
They can figure it out. It's just that's
just
the
a
total
figure of
population in those areas, about 2.5 million. What I'm saying is 2.5 million of us standing against Goon Squad. Who's going to win? If we're all united, united we stand. Divided we fall.
Ooh, that was like goosebumpy.
And
that was deep.
And if you do, and that's what that metaphor is about. Sheriffs, stand with us. Cops, stand with us. Firefighters, stand with us. And everybody else, us citizens, if you're the brave, if you're upholding the Constitution, let's get it on.
Michael writes in on YouTube, I'd like to get in on that lawsuit.
Yes. Come down to the Board of Supervisors if you're in Riverside County or San Bernardino County. They're made on Tuesday. I don't know exact time. It's in the morning, I think, both. It's usually at 9:30. You can call in, send them an email, but you can call in, come in person, give your 2 minutes of that. And I encourage you, we need to crank up the machine like we had before and have hundreds of people out there saying, enough's enough. Let's get it done. They're the ones that can do it. They've got the tools to do it. Let's get it done. Right. Want to do the Slo Jo Biden deal on that as we're going on that? Did we have the graphic up on the one of the San Bernardino suing when we were doing? Okay, so have the Slo Jo one.
She knows what she's doing.
Yes, you're doing. I just didn't see it while I was glancing over, but that's fine. Very good job. Thumbs up. We got the Slo Jo Biden video coming up.
I appreciate it.
On here, going on that. Here.
Some detail. Thirdly, we discussed the need to help states. They talked about that in some detail. Thirdly, we discussed the need to help states with Title 32 funding for the National Guard. That's a fancy way of saying governors need to be able to get funding when they need to bring their National Guard into play.
Let me
the National Guard's going to have to play this. Funding for the National Guard. That's a fancy way of saying governors need to be able to get funding when they need to bring their National Guard into play. And National Guard's going to have to play this. It costs a lot of money. They talk.
Really quick, hang on.
Yes.
And I'm not. Stop. I'm not a political person like you are. But why do governors need funding? For what?
You can't even, because I will tell you, to bail out the teachers, the cops, the firefighters' pensions.
I don't know, what the hell is he even talking about?
They're using this as a ruse. What they're talking about is tiddlywinks. It's like the 19 deal. The reason the cops and firefighters are backing a tax increase is because they want to take money out of yours and my pocket and put it in theirs. That is the bottom line. They want their gold-plated salaries and platinum pensions and marble health benefits, and they don't care if they got to use a gun to take it, because the government, and let's get this straight, the government has no power without a gun. If they don't have the threat of a gun to put you in jail, then they have no reason, no power to tax you. So they are using the gun to take money out of yours and mine and everyone else's pocket and put it in theirs. That's the bottom line of this, and that's what he's talking about. But the main point I wanted to make is, all you Joe Biden supporters, that's what you want as president? A guy who can't even put two words together without stuttering or stammering and looking like he's about ready to fall asleep? That's what you want? An incoherent person who doesn't even know what the hell he's saying and can't even spit it out on the process? Think about it.
Monica writes in on Facebook, when you're racist that they are against BLM, I'm going to call out Trump about lying about COVID. When are you racist that... I don't get that. Anyway. Thank you, Monica, for writing it.
Yeah, Monica. When you can prove... Monica was earlier in the comments on the replay said I hated black people and was a racist.
Really?
When you prove that, Monica... Then we're going to go with your comments. Until you could prove, when you went on with Facebook and said that, and I sent you the link of the Nickel Society of that, you want to believe Facebook, who Zuckerberg said he doesn't even know what's going on? Do you believe Zuckerberg? Go watch the Josh Hawley deal, Monica. Let's deal with reality on this situation. When you want to tell the truth, Facebook is not the arbitrator of fact checkers, and their fact check is wrong if they're putting that on the mine I posted, because nickel is in electric car batteries. Deal with it.
Why do we care really quick if nickel's in batteries?
Because Facebook was disputing my post, saying it was a nickel mine that I was using, and I was talking about lithium batteries, which have nickel in them, and that's the mine. Their fact check is they can stick it up their rear end, because it's totally false. I was correct again. And when you can admit that you were wrong, Monica, then we will respond to your comments. Here we go. I want to get Sidney Powell in on this real quick. Election insurance. You ain't going to believe this.
Insurance, meaning that he would be able to make sure he was elected. I'm sure they explained that feature in detail to many people who expressed interest in putting this voting system in. Quote, election insurance, meaning that he would be able to make sure he was elected. I'm sure they explained that feature in detail to many people who expressed interest in putting this voting system in.
So you heard that Sidney Powell on the...
Who had election insurance?
Sidney Powell is part of the team that was, and they held a press conference with Rudy Giuliani, and I don't remember the other lady's name, with the three that were part of Trump's legal team that's defending or suing on the elections or representing him in this election fraud deal on that. Yes, that's why we have the graphic up of Hunter Biden and that. Dominion, they're talking about Dominion voting and all that, and election insurance. They are making allegations, and we will see if they're substantiated, that you could go to, let's say a voting machine company that's doing all this stuff or tabulating all the votes, and if a nice big brown paper sack gets passed under the door, you can switch votes. They're making the allegations. There's backdoor channels. They can change the votes, the ratio. If they don't like the ratio, they can make it, let's say, 125 votes for every vote that comes in. It can go 125 to Biden, 0.75 to Trump. Election insurance. Never heard of that before until today. What would you insure? What possibly could you insure a election? What she is alleging is people paid to rig the elections. Was that Joe Biden? Was that Hunter Biden? Was that Hillary Clinton? Was that what the whole Russian hoax thing was about, that they were trying to blame Trump when it became clear that Obama, Biden, Hillary Clinton, and the whole crew over there in 2016. The ones that were accusing...
Hi, Stephanie.
That were accusing Trump of being involved with the Russians, they were the ones that were dealing with them over this whole thing. Now what is going to blow sky high? Rudy talked about in the disputed is in Wayne County, which is not certified, that votes were up to 300% in Wayne County, Detroit, Michigan area. Over 300% of the people voted in those areas. 200%. How do you do that?
Magic.
More to come of this. Remember, Roy said before the election, did they have key ballots stuffed in key counties ready to go in case this was going? We're going to get more into this story.
30 seconds.
It's going to be fascinating how this all plays out. Why did those and the threats, the Wayne County electors that voted it not to certify, and then they changed their vote, that were getting threatened, they say,
here we go, guys, 10 seconds.
Offline
on Twitter and Facebook, and visit steertheline.com.
IE Newswire Daily is on the air.
The following is a paid program. Views and claims expressed are those of the program producer and are not endorsed by this station. Opinions expressed are not necessarily those of radio station KMEP, its management,
There's that funky slide guitar music that comes on every Monday through Friday at 5:30 on the Monday Bit. 1490 AM, broadcasting all across the AM dial in the Inland Empire. Joining our IE Newswire video audience, which Stephanie is really crackling on the deal of making it very interactive, better, more professional of that, because we're definitely, as we work on this, we're definitely going to be stepping up the game in our video broadcast, which goes out on IE Newswire on Twitch, Facebook, and
on YouTube. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button and share us all over your world. And also go over to our Instagram page and like that as well. And coming soon, Roy's going to get up the Parler account.
Yes.
You didn't know.
Yeah.
But he does know.
I think that was a dig.
Yeah, it was. But it was fun.
And it was a well-deserved dig.
Smile on my face.
Yes, it was a well-deserved dig of that.
Stay tuned for that.
Of that, yes. We're going to get on that. And if somebody's more familiar with that whole Parler, MeWe, all these new ones that are coming out, which ones are that? Which ones can we get the video cast on? Somebody's got some information, either contact me or Stephanie or something, and we'll...
just bypass Roy and just go straight to me.
Yes. Yeah, if you want to get it done.
You can get a hold of Roy.
Yeah, if it wants to happen, contact Stephanie, then she'll make it happen.
Crap.
Of that.
Set myself up for more work. Contact Roy. That's what I meant.
Well, see what making a dig at me does? That, so be careful of what you wish for. Of that, we covered a lot of stuff in the first half hour. Tom McClintock had an eloquent speech about agreeing with Gavin Newsome on his 350 plated dinner. Why don't we all do that? The curfews are coming across California. Gavin Newsom starting to Saturday from 10 p.m. to 5 p.m. There's a curfew across almost all of the state of California.
I wonder how people feel about that. How many people are going to... Well, I guess people aren't going to be like, I'm not going to listen to that, but...
like I said, they're taking...
That's ridiculous.
They want to take the fun out of anything. You can't go to the races.
I don't get what closing or shutting down anything at 10 p.m. is.
You can't go to the mountains and enjoy skiing.
You can't?
You can't go to Disneyland. You can't, you can't go to the beach. You're going to kill everybody. You can't have Thanksgiving, Christmas, or see anybody or talk to everybody. They want to control you. They want to make all your communications on this little 3x5 screen, because that way they know every stinking thing you're doing and tracking and the whole enchilada. It's all about control of this. There is no other reason. We did the Slow Joe Biden on that. We did Sidney Powell, part of Trump's team, that put up their election insurance. I bet that's going to be one of the big things that comes out of this. If that allegation that you can pay off a voting machine company and start selecting votes, because if the evidence is clear and they say they have the evidence that why would vote switching stuff be in or the ability to turn votes or add votes or that, why would they be in voting machines? What purpose would that be for other than to alter the vote? If you're going to have a voting machine, it should be one vote for one person. How, according to the allegation, percent voting in precincts in Wayne County, Michigan, the Detroit area. And these anomalies, according to the team of Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell across the board of that, they say they're going to have more evidence to come. They presented an hour-and-a-half press conference. They answered questions. Let me ask you this. When's the last time Joe Biden answered questions from the press?
That's a great question. Who's Joe Biden?
Yeah. I don't think Joe Biden knows who Joe Biden is.
I don't think he does either.
Of the deal.
Hey, he's the one starting the curfew.
Well, yeah, he's probably getting instructions from Mr. Joe Biden. Let's see if we can. We got to run this. We're going to run the short clip here again on the Biden.
Talked about that in some detail. Thirdly, we discussed the need to help states with Title 32 funding for the National Guard. That's a fancy way of saying governors need to be able to get funding when they need to bring their National Guard into play. And National Guards are going to have to play this. It costs a lot of money.
So why do we need to? And I didn't pick up on that right off the get go. Why do we need what's this National Guard stuff? It's there. Besides him with the graphic of that and looking like he's half falling asleep, going on of that. What's this National Guard stuff coming? It's completely ridiculous of that. What's going on? We haven't had him on in a long time. I think since before the election, and he's got. Not only does he have his hand on the pulse of the city of Riverside and all in areas like that is kind of his specialty, but he has his pulse on the hand of a lot of things that are going on nationally, county-wise, statewide, with the curfews a coming. Joe Biden saying we're going to come with the National Guard. Sidney Powell came up with the election insurance. Can you buy your way to an election with a voting machine? The allegations and the things that are happening coming out on that. Is a county in San Bernardino actually going to sue Gavin Newsom over this stuff? To talk about all this and anything else he's got on his mind, we have that guy that just knows just about everything. If there isn't something going on in Riverside, especially, he knows what's going on. Jason Hunter, welcome to IE Newswire with Steph and Roy. Of that, where's Jason Hunter? Did we lose? Well, I think we lost Jason Hunter. See if we can get Jason back on the line. No, it's something else of what's going on the system.
Okay, hang on. You didn't go through.
It's fun of how it runs on the deal. See if we got him on. Do we have you on now, Jason? Yeah, check that and see if we didn't hit the wrong button or something on that bottom thing. Of going across, his stuff is all on. Jason Hunter, are you on the line? One more time. Of that, see if it. I think we're Jason Hunter. Are you there? Yeah, I think it's. Remember that little bottom one on the green? Maybe we hit that again. Of that, but no, it's absolutely incredulous on that whether our phone system's going down on that. But hopefully we'll try and get Jason back up on the line. But no, we ran the clip of Joe Biden of that going on. But what really of what's going on It's absolutely incredulous of this what's going on the deal. No, I think remember this green thing. If you remember, yeah, I think we hit something on there that isn't because it should be going through on the switcher device. Do we got you now, Jason Hunter? We're wow. There we. Maybe that was almost it. I think. Jason, are you there?
Yes, I am.
There, finally, we got the right button pushed on that.
Ventilate the number.
There you go on that. For some reason, and yeah, we're getting an echo across of that. But no, I don't know if you heard my commentary coming in when I brought you in. But what's on? We got this election stuff, election fraud going on all across. Maybe a county in California is going to sue Gavin Newsome. All that stuff. What's on your mind?
Well, we live in interesting times, don't we?
Yes.
So, just a little bit of rundown on maybe the city of Riverside, which is the county seat, and election results. I think we've got Patricia Locke Dawson, the new mayor, coming over from the school board. Now she's going to be the new mayor. Defeated Andy Melendrez. A little bit of a surprise, quite frankly, given that Melendrez beat her fairly handily in the primary. A complete reversal of fortune in the general, where she looks to be up by almost 20,000 votes. But I think one of the really impressive things I saw here in Riverside County was that 80% of voter turnout, which is incredible. And I think that's a really it's a good sign. It's a good sign for bad reasons, which means people are really concerned about their government, so they're showing up to vote in droves and paying attention. And that's a good thing, right? But the reason for it is probably not a good thing. Is that I get a feeling that people are concerned about what their government is up to these days, and that's what drove the turnout. So we've got, I think, one new school board member here, Dale Kinnear. Tom Hunt was the incumbent. He kept his seat on the water board. We have two new members coming in. Old friend from the Riverside City Council, Mike Gardner, won a seat. And then a newcomer, Fazia Rizzi, coming out of Corona.
You mentioned Corona. How's the sales tax increase was real tight. How is that going?
Real tight. And I think the results are semi-final now. And I believe that sales tax just squeaked through.
Really?
So it looks like it is going to pass. And I said, according to the Register of Voters, they don't have the final results.
Yeah, they usually take the whole 30 days so it'll be like December 3rd or something, 2nd or whenever they decide. But they usually take on this one because it's so big, and it's usually the presidential one. Because then they got to go through the close races and yada, yada, yada. So Riverside County usually takes the whole 30 days to officially certify the results. But I want to touch back on that 80% Riverside voting on that because, a lot of allegations going on nationally. The Trump team had a press conference today showing or making allegations that there was like 300% vote in certain precincts in like the Detroit, Michigan, Wayne County area.
Well, they must have been really enthusiastic.
Yes, and that's what I'm going at. Do you believe that there's actually, and I mean, at one time, I mean, citizens in Riverside County sued and made some major reforms, especially in Riverside County in the state of California over this stuff going on. And I do know we use the same Dominion voting machines that all kinds of allegations are being made to, that they have the ability to take, let's say, 1.25. If the votes came in and switch them from 1-to-1 Trump to Biden to 125 to Biden to 75 Trump, and all these other allegations are being made. What's your faith in, let's say, Riverside County elections? What's your faith that the process is on the up and up?
Well, if people have studied the history of Riverside County elections and studied the Register of Voters and their ability to actually do the counts, I would say that based upon history, my faith wouldn't be too high. I think that they've been the subject of much criticism, at least during the last decade plus that I've lived here.
Right.
We have less concern here in California because I got a feeling that Biden was going to take California no matter, what happened, quite frankly. So do I worry about the sanctity of the vote and the security of the vote, really, when it comes to mail-in ballots, particularly for mail-in ballots to people who weren't expecting them.
There you go.
Yes, I have tremendous concerns over that. I think that, voter fraud isn't necessarily someone stealing 400,000 ballots and just and sending them all in for one candidate. It happens in a lot of small ways, but you do it in a lot of small ways, it can add up.
Yes.
So it can be something as simple as, you have two kids that just turned 18 and one parent votes for them. That's voter fraud. Right.
And that's what I'm saying. That the unusual high turnout, the whole mail-in ballot thing that came on. I don't know if you're familiar. We had Kevin Kiley on a couple of days ago. He's the assemblyman, along with James Gallagher, that sued Newsome over his overextending his or exceeding his authority to order mail-in ballots of that, and Judge Sarah Heckman ruled in favor of Kiley and Gallagher, and now, it's a stay at the as it goes through the appeal process. But we do have a court victory on that, and saying you can't legislate from the bench. But that's my point is, and Susan Shelley from the, that's an editorial writer, columnist on Press Enterprise, San Bernardino, and a lot of papers around, has pointed out many times, like L.A. County, 141% voter registration on that, and this whole mail-in ballot. And I explained it of that, and this one over here got 2 ballots, and most women change their name, and they're getting these multiple ballots.
And someone on our show wrote in too and said that his dog got one.
Yes.
How did his dog get a
ballot? And you dead people and everything else, but you have
people who move out of state.
Yeah, you have to enable to count votes at a 300% or 200% or an overvote of what, or these anomalies that are there. It's much more easier to do when you have these people, when you have a voter registration in excess of the people who are eligible to vote.
Right. And you're not requiring ID,
Yes.
When you're doing a mail-in ballot type of process, there's no ID. You're just taking the ballots as they come in. You're assuming that signature is the correct signature. And so there's not a lot of security around that, particularly for people who never requested those ballots to begin with.
You bring up a great point, because when you request a absentee ballot, which is different than that, they have your signature on file. They know that you're one vote, and then I don't know if you've ever voted absentee or at the polls, but if you have an absentee ballot, your name is crossed off at the poll deal, and if you show up there and do that, you're going to go through the provisional ballot, and we've done all that, and then they're going to check it and make sure that you're not voting twice. There is no protection, even in Georgia. The recount, they're not checking the signatures against the ballot. And as Rudy said today, once you separate the ballot from the envelope, then there's no real way to determine if that was a legit vote or not.
Well, I agree completely. But if I could just for a second just get back to the local races. I think what I took from the local races here, Roy, was that, we had a fairly progressive candidate running for mayor. We had progressive candidates running for school board and for water board. Not to say that they most of them lost. In fact, the vast majority of them lost, which tells me they ran primarily against what I would call centrist candidates.
Right.
And so it tells me that amongst the local electorate, perhaps maybe the progressive agenda has finally gone too far, and the general public is starting to repudiate it. Versus even just a few months ago, we had some fairly progressive people put on the Riverside City Council. I shouldn't even say a couple months ago, almost a year ago, I guess now. But it seems to me like the tide has now turned in the last year, maybe highlighted by the COVID response by the government, where people are starting to really pay attention, and they believe that maybe the government is overreaching and going a bit too far, particularly the executive side of the government. And so it seems to me that, given that Patricia Locke Dawson was lost in the primary, and all of a sudden she comes back and not just wins in the general, but she thumps her opponent in the general, who's a fairly well-known progressive here who at one point was advocating for sanctuary cities. To me, that's a sign that the public has decided enough is enough. We need adults in the room. We need a more centrist agenda. what's going on perhaps at Sacramento and some of these local.
Good thing you mentioned that, because the story just broke in the LA Times that a bunch of legislators from California, Oregon, and Washington are partying hard Hawaii on that, going back and forth. None other than and if we have the graphic on there with the Jose Medina on that, yeah, go ahead and put it up there. But yeah, Jose Medina and Chad Mays from our area are in Hawaii doing this and coming up with that. Yet they both won very big in their local elections around here of doing that. So I'm wondering if things like this will finally get enough traction that we can get some of the bad policies, as I see it, from these legislators coming out, and like Gavin Newsome did with the 400-plate dinner, reject all the COVID advisories and everything else. The legislators, the governors, and everybody else are breaking the mandates that they're making us live under.
Hey, do as I say, not as I do.
Yes.
Right. So, I mean, we'll see. It's not just maybe the people the sentiment is turning. You still need to run viable candidates who are running viable campaigns. That's the other part of it, right? So it's not just you put your name on there and just because the public sentiment is turning away from one particular viewpoint, you're automatically going to win. Candidates still have to run. They have to do a good job. They have to work hard. They have to run their campaigns. So, there's a lot of things that need to happen. But it does seem like, at least in some of the very local races here in the city of Riverside, I can't speak for the outlying areas of the county. It seems like the tide has turned. We're coming back to the center.
Yeah, it remains to be seen. One thing that struck me, though, is in expanding it a little bit of that, even in once was known as Red County or Orange County, it was actually 53-45 Biden and Trump. But they actually lost, Morlock and Ling Chang, two senators, which were Republicans, actually lost in the state Senate. So we actually went backwards on the progressive agenda going to the state of California. Now, they picked up a couple congressional seats in the Orange County area, and I think there was a couple plus on the assembly side. But, there's a mixed bag of what's going on, and it's kind of interesting to me, this shift that we have going on across not only Southern California but the whole state, of where once very Republican or conservative or liberty-minded people are now shifting very left on their elections.
Well, I mean, I guess it goes area by area by area, right? All politics, they say, is local. Roy. So, what's going on in Orange County could be a different creature than what you see here in Riverside County.
And going on, it's going to be, and what really struck me is John Cox won Riverside County, the Republican, for governor of that by about 2 points over Gavin Newsom. And 2 years, Hillary Clinton won over Trump in that. Then it switched to Republican in Riverside County. Then it went back to, that. So, it seems like to me, it kind of seems like this spastic state we're in. We got about a minute or two to go. I'll let you wrap it up.
Well, I just think that it's, regardless of what is found out with the voter fraud, my guess is it's not going to cancel out the entire 80% of the people that voted here in Riverside County. And for me, that's the best long-term message is that, we have a system of self-governance and people have, whether they know it or not, they have a sort of a duty to watch their own government, particularly now in a time where the press and the media, the fourth estate, is still trying to, figure out what they're going to be here in the next generation. And so it was nice to see that people are getting involved and they're starting to follow things and they're now voting. I hope to see that continued in any elections that continue next year. Because the more, I've always said that just even a regular city council, for an example, they never govern better than in front of a full room of constituents.
Yes.
And so if the politicians believe that their constituents and the citizen is watching, I'm hoping for better outcomes. So I guess that's the 2 cents I take away from, races are won, races are lost for a lot of different reasons. But the fact that voter turnout was at 80% which has got to be close to being historic in the state area. I haven't gone back and checked that, but my guess is it's pretty darn close. I think in the long run, that is better for all of us.
If you're done with the lockdowns and the curfews and the canceling of Christmas and Thanksgiving, take Jason Hunter's advice. Join him down at the city of Riverside, or me down at the county or the Moreno Valley School Board or something, and make your voice heard. As Jason said, nothing scares a politician more than angry constituents. And the more help we could get, or the more that voice is done, you'll see mountains move. Thanks a lot for being on, Jason. We'll do it again real soon.
Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
That was Jason Hunter. Haven't had him on for a while, but I enjoy his insights because of the middle one, but no, it goes with saying on the deal of that we're you want to see your counties opened up. Get back down there when you showed up in mass, 100, 150, 200 plus, and you seen how Riverside County got opened up like that. Start showing back up. We need the folks to come back out at Riverside County, San Bernardino County, Orange County, San Diego County. I know Don Wagner. I mean, it looks like Kurt Hagman in San Bernardino County and Janice Rutherford's on board. Jeff Hewitt's on board in Riverside County. Don Wagner in Orange County, and I can't remember the jet supervisor's name in San Diego County. But get down there and back these guys up and challenge the ones that are sitting there, that are sitting there in the seats that are waffling on this stuff, and get them off the dime. They have the tools to do it. Our sheriffs need to start backing us up harder, I believe. They need to start joining the lawsuing, joining the Kylie Gallagher lawsuits, starting their own lawsuits. However, I think one person has suggested that us on these airwaves and at the public meetings, we need to make that voice bigger. And we need to respectfully but forcefully tell them we're not accepting anything else. We're not accepting these nanny state curfews, these lockdowns, this you can't have your family over for Thanksgiving or Christmas or any of this other nonsense, when it's like a 0.999999999% that you have any worry about dying from COVID of this. It is ridiculous of what we've been going through.
It really is. And it's not going to stop at 10 p.m. to 5 a.m.
Exactly.
I don't get that. I really do. It's insane. I'm losing my damn mind. I don't know how nobody else is. Are we like the only ones going crazy? Or is everybody just talking about it? Now the toilet paper's almost all gone again?
We didn't cover that. Yeah, the toilet paper shortage. People are hoarding toilet paper.
Like, well, I mean, they learned the first time, so I don't blame them. I mean, I'm buying it now.
Is this ridiculous or what? We're going to end it up on a Fast Friday. Have a great weekend. Do what you got to do on this whole curfew thing.
Nice for a stranger.
There you go. I love that. And until